Good evening and welcome to this ABC 36 News Update. I'm Megan Skaggs. The snow is obviously the big story today. This is the third straight week we've had a major snow event. We spoke to Lexington Mayor Jim Newberry earlier today. He says city road crews have been prepared to handle the winter weather. Now, the city even bought another $165,000 worth of salt just last week.
The budget is tight, but clearly a priority for everybody on the council as well as myself is making sure that we don't find ourselves short of salt and other equipment and resources necessary to clean up the snow when it happens.
Mayor Newberry said one positive note about the frequency of the storms over the last month is that it has allowed road crews to figure out what has worked and what has not. Well, Scott County was one of the harder hit areas. In downtown Georgetown, many drivers kept their headlights on to navigate through the snowy mess. Many people took it slow. Snow plows couldn't even keep up with the falling precipitation, nor could some shopkeepers who were trying to shovel their way out of this mess. But the conditions this morning didn't keep some from braving the elements.
As far as pizza delivery, I don't know what kind of delivery times we're going to have today. We'll just have to tell the customer we'll get it to you whenever we can make it.
Well, some delivery drivers tell ABC 36 News that the only time driving conditions were worse than this was during last year's ice storm. And we are already receiving many school closings and delays for tomorrow. Fayette County, Laurel County, all out of school tomorrow. You can get the latest on our website. The address is WTVQ.com. In other news tonight, authorities have identified the man who fell to his death in the Red River Gorge over the weekend. The coroner says 28-year-old Sean Wilhoit fell 50 feet in the Indian Creek area and died of blunt force trauma. The sheriff is investigating the death as an accident. He says the man's friends tried to revive him at the scene, but it just did not work. A Mercer County woman was arrested after police say she stabbed her husband. The Mercer County Sheriff says 45-year-old Shannon Turner stabbed her husband after the two got into a fight Sunday night. The sheriff says her husband, Stephen Turner, suffered 3 minor stab wounds and drove himself to the hospital. Shannon Turner is now in jail and charged with assault. The sheriff says assault charges are also pending against Stephen Turner. State Auditor Crit Llewellyn has reviewed $23 billion worth of expenditures by the state and says while most of it looks good, there are a few examples of what her office calls oversight deficiencies. The report points out that several state agencies had a lack of control over state take-home vehicles. It also recommends the Kentucky Department of Agriculture strengthen controls over operating expenses and procurement card charges, and the departments like the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, the Department for Corrections, and the Department of Education tighten security on their data. That's going to do it for this news update.